Oh, good afternoon, folks. It's a cloudy afternoon, so I'm here in the lab doing some work on a pair of Converse All-Stars, Chuck Taylors. Basically sort of a brand new shoe, but the sole was all pulling away, and my wife scored them secondhand, like real cheap. Because of this fact, so I am going through and diligently gluing about an inch at a time with a clamp that I have. If I had more clamps, I would move forward quicker, but I don't, so this is where we live. This is where we're at. But anyway, I just wanted to kind of throw that in there just for interest's sake. I am not always dealing with toys and cars and things of that nature. My bench becomes the resting place of a lot of broken and or waiting for fixes or hangs or painting or whatever on this table, and I'm trying to clear it because I really want to do a build, and I want to do it on this table, not over by my computers, which is the red section that you often see. That's where I do reviews. This is where I do my work. I don't want to chip plastic, and I don't want to use knives and glues and everything else over my rather costly velvet curtain that goes over my desk over there. It didn't cost me anything. I got it for free, but I don't want to goof it up nonetheless. Anyway, a little look into the back room, if you will, behind the curtain here at the old Monkey Shine Lab. If you're just joining us, if you were just becoming a viewer of the lab here, we really believe in recycling, renewing, repairing all sorts of stuff. It's not just toys, but the focus on toys really comes from not not wanting plastic to be put into the ecosystem. Right now, folks, it's unavoidable. Plastic is infused in everything, and depending on who you listen to, your own cells may be completely infused with microplastics, depending on your diet. We have now come full circle where it is in our food chain. It's in a lot of creatures' food chains. So when you have the possibility of going out and picking up a small set of screwdrivers, you should have that around. You should always have a staple gun in case you need to staple somebody's head. You should always have a variety of glues. Right now, what I'm using for this is Gorilla Glue. But certain things have different reactions chemically, so you need to be careful what you're using and how you're using it. Toward that end, by the way, YouTube is your friend. YouTube will teach you a lot of things. They'll show you a lot of things, more than just people riding a bicycle off the garage roof and killing themselves. Anyway, let's talk about some toys. One of the big things that you see in our community, if you watch the channels, the other channels that we're kind of affiliated with, whether it's Simple Customs by Eddie P, the Godfather, or Nazar's work, which gets very, very crazy at times. He's even done powder coating in the past on some of his customs. You can look at that and you see Nazar going and dipping. He's got a whole chain of cars that he's drilled the rivets out of, and he dips them in acid, and he takes the paint right down to the surface, and that's, you can do something like that. Or you can kind of go the route that Eddie does with his customs, where he does some really, really great stuff. And he's got a workbench. He's got all the right tools and racks of paint and stuff. It looks really daunting, honestly, if you're getting into this hobby and then you want to do things on the cheap, but you don't want it to look cheap. So let's take a look at a very cheap toy. And what I'm going to do with it is to kind of show you how to bring out a little of the brilliance that was in the mold, that they skipped a step. And it doesn't have to be expensive, and it doesn't have to be time consuming, and it doesn't have to be a pain in the ass that, oh, I've never picked up a paintbrush, I just don't know if I could do this. Come on. Part of the fun of customizing things is to let go of your attachment to the original item. Chris Sheets does customs as well, and his art are really cool, really extensive. I've seen some turtle vans he's done. A turtle van he did for Andre. Eddie did like the same thing. He did a turtle van for Andre in a different way. The key to it is to understand that art is free. There is no constraint outside of things mixing, which would have a chemical reaction in my book. So you don't really have to worry about using even things of an organic nature. I did talk about how if you want to have rust lines on your aquatic stuff or silt, that you can do it with cinnamon or finely ground pepper even. You wet the surface where you want the line to go of the rust, and then you just sprinkle a little cinnamon across the surface, and the cinnamon that sticks to that little path, you can then clean it up a little bit with even a pencil eraser, or a Q-tip, because it's organic. It's not sticking to the surface permanently. You can redo it if you really want to. And then when you get the things the way you like them, you can seal them that way if you want to, with clear coats of different descriptions. There are glossy clear coats, there are all that other nonsense, but I'm not getting into any of that, okay? The stuff that I do does not require a spray booth. It does not require a huge amount of ventilation, although it is always a good idea if you are using things like glues or cements or things of that nature, that, yeah, do that in a ventilated room. Do not do not become a huffer because of what you learn here. Please, God. There are better drugs, as I've said. There are better drugs that they're more fun and they don't make you a vegetable by 35. So don't huff glue. I can't believe I'm talking about this. Anyway, let's get to this toy that I bought. And again, like a lot of things that I've purchased, this was picked up a while ago, but they are still available. I've seen them out there in the box stores. It is we're gonna review the toy, okay? But I'm also gonna show you how you can take a cheap ass thing like this. This was $10. This whole playset was $10. A lot of it is some cardboard stands. You get an alien. What I wanted out of here was the alien egg, the face hugger, and the alien itself. This little guy is cool. He will probably end up going to my grandkids. And depending on how badly I screw up the alien, we'll see where that goes. It may go in the garbage. And you need to be prepared for that when you're starting out, okay? You need to be ready for the fact that it's going to look uneven, that you didn't maybe get it right. But we're going to talk to you about getting it right with brushes and cheap home paints. Talking 50 cents a bottle on this crap. Do not go out and waste a lot of cash, okay? So let's take a look at the toy, and then let's savage the alien here with a little bit of shading and see if it doesn't look a little better than it does as we review it now. All right, if you're unfamiliar with this company, the company is called Lanard. It's right down here. They make a bunch of stuff in the aliens and in the Predator world. They sell a bunch of cheap Predators too. So, but I've never seen their alien stuff out of the box. This was apparently a Walmart exclusive. So it's not available in box stores. It is available in one box store. And these were not very popular, so I think you can probably find them at a pretty good price these days. But let's see here on the box. You get an egg and a face hugger, a research scientist. There is a set of dog tags. That's kind of neat. And a little chart here, get to know your xenomorph. And it talks about the species cycle and what these things go through to turn into monsters that kill you. The box art is really nice, I gotta say. On the side there is an alien, and this artwork, by the way, can be very helpful when you're customizing your other one, because you look at the colors that they've used and where they've used them to highlight what, and then you try to emulate that. Again, it's not always close your blade. It's not terribly difficult to do this stuff. Again, you really need to be okay with making mistakes. And at 55 years old, I'm king hell at making mistakes. So always retract your blade. I'm trying to pull this out here respectfully because I really I dig all this stuff and I want it to come out together. And it does. I'm gonna throw the big ass box to the side. Again, folks, this is one of those things that I bought a very long time ago. Oh gosh, forgot to move my light in. Excuse me. It's been that kind of a day. It really hasn't. It's been a good day. Anyway, so here's what comes inside the set. You have a little dude with a flamethrower. It has a neat little sort of cardboard flame coming off the back of it. I'm thinking that's probably gonna fall straight off when I liberate this, but find you later. Folks, if you're a longtime viewer, you know how I love these little plastic things because they always end up all over my floor. It's like having them. Okay, well, he's freed. Since he's freed, let's take a look at the little research scientist. I'm gonna leave the tie on all of this to keep the flame coming out of the back. It's kind of cool. oh, cool. The helmet does come off. Well crafted. It looks like it was in the Aliens universe, but it's not something out of the show or anything. But that's a neat extra. Okay. The figure itself has single joint elbows, of course. You can't turn the helmet, but I think you could probably turn the head in the helmet. So let's take the helmet off. Ooh, very stiff neck, but you can get him to look to the side. Look it to the side. Here, let's turn his head towards using his flamethrower. And he's always got sort of a smug look on his face, like, an alien. Looks a little like Leonard Nimoy, actually, in ways. Anyway, he looks completely bored. Get on. Okay, so single jointed elbows. The armor on the shoulder stops the bicep at that point, but it will go all the way around. These feel like they loosen up very quickly, by the way, at least in the shoulder. Single hinge on that joint as well. And a gripping hand, which is completely... Okay. That's kind of odd. There's a wrist turn, but his hand is stuck in the whack-off position. He's given himself the stranger. But anyway, the hip swivel is there. No cut at the thigh, single jointed knee, and no mobility at the ankles. So there you go. There's the research scientist with his flame gun. It's a neat little figure. It is. I may hang on to it. I don't know. You get this is just a standout. This is just cardboard here. Full scale attack action figure. The egg is not tied in anywhere, but the little face hugger is hugging a find you later. But the face hugger looks semi-articulated to maybe go on the face of the helmet. Maybe? Not a chance. You could heat it up, though. You could heat it up if you wanted to and get those fingers to grab, because they're very thin. A little hot water would probably mold those right onto his helmet if you wanted to. The egg is very cool. I'm sorry, but this is probably one of the coolest cheap-ass alien eggs I've ever seen. It's just got a kind of a wash in here, but it does. I mean, when you look at it, and with the face hugger in there on his coiled up tail, that's great. And I'm gonna put this goes right on my desk. Absolutely. So let's get to the star of the show then. There's really nothing left. Although, I mean, I'm saying you could probably take this off the back of the package and use it as wall art somewhere. That's what I'm going to do with it. But let's find out about this alien. He's got to find you later holding him in at waist. Oh, it's going to close your blade. I didn't close it that last time. You should have said something. Why didn't you say anything? Friends, Oh, there's a little find you later in there too. My gosh, they're really making sure that this alien is not getting free. With a thinner kind of figure like this, I would definitely want to do that. Make sure that those all get free, because it's the figure's a little delicate. But let's go over the articulation after I get this plastic out of the way. with a bunch of findulators in it. Okay. The star of the show is a lot better than I expected. And what's really cool about these and why they caught my eye is all of the molded detail in them. Okay, this is going to be an amazing custom process. Probably what I'll do is start with a dark ass wash and just get it in there to take out all of these formations that they've molded in here. They really capture Geiger's work very well. The tail flips around a little bit, but it's not generally articulated here. It just sort of whatever mold it's in, it'll stay there. The mouth is permanently open, and there's a tiny little mouth of detail in there. So we may be able to get something going on there. I don't know. The head swivels left and right. The arms are very articulate, although the elbows are frozen. Okay. Getting down to the waist, you have full waist mobility, legs, no cut at the legs, and single jointed knees that only go back to there, although you do have an articulated ankle on this figure, which you don't have with the research scientist, which he comes with. But this is going to be a really good subject for adding a wash to it and stuff like that. And as soon as I get my bench cleared over there, I'm going to do that. This has been running a little long, and I don't want to go absolutely bananas here this episode, because if you're not into this, you probably have switched off of it by now. But neat little figures, and like I said, I got these sets on clearance. They were, but they're still available, which is the confusing thing. It's like they got rid of them just to add in more from Lanard. But these are really, again, they're very cheap, and they come in different colors. I picked up one of the ones that was gold like this because I really feel like a little dark wash, a little black wash, and then some browns, highlights, and stuff like that, and maybe some greens and blues to sort of top it off. But we'll see how complicated I'm going to get with it. I think probably what I'm just going to do is add that wash for you so that you can see the difference in this figure. And I will, take a couple of pictures there so that you see what it looks like at first, and then sorry, wrong button, and then you'll see the final product. And I will do some of it on camera. Right now my desk is not prepared, and I got to do that. Thanks very much for coming out, folks. I have a few things I got to get to, so, the real world comes crashing in on my hobbies yet again. But I'm going to get my wife's shoes fixed for her, and then after I'm done with that, I am going to do a build over there, and I'm going to take care of our little friend on camera. I really want to give this the attention it deserves. And so let's do something else here really quick, just to make this episode worth watching. My wife just called in. She's bringing home energy drinks. You know what that means on a weekend. I don't know what that means on a weekend. Let's get to what we're going to talk about here. I've had this sitting around in a long time, and like I've said, it's this, all of this airspace around it is sort of taking up too much damn room. So I'm gonna finally open this. I think I found it last year at a discount. I think it was at a Buy Mart, and I got it for like half the price of what you would pay for it at any other store. But if you don't know about the good people at Jada, this is a Jada car. These folks here, it's an American company, been around for about 20-25 years, somewhere in that vein, and I really like them, and here's why. I just, in order to find out what the company was all about, I called them. A good way of finding out these days who you're dealing with is to call the company and engage with a human being if you are allowed. And the thing with Jada was, somebody picked up the phone immediately. There was no phone maze. There was no, press dial 1 for this, dial 2 for that. It was a human being, and she said, "Hi, what can I tell you about our company?" And she answered my questions real briefly, and I had a really pleasant exchange with them. So ever since, I have been pushing their product a little bit here and there, but they do make all of these different sized automobiles of various different descriptions. I did also pick up their Ford GT. This is one that's constantly on my desk, and has not moved off of my desk since unboxing it. And this is probably going to be the same. My desk is filling up with die-cast. I've just realized this. I have stuff from Andre. I have stuff from Chris Sheets. I have stuff from Nazar. I have so many mementos on my desk right now. Plus my Hot Wheels versus Matchbox shootout for the year. Which, by the way, Hot Wheels is bringing it up. They're bringing up their heat a little bit. So my earlier shade on Hot Wheels may be premature. But anyway, let's get this thing out of the box. And it's part of their Hollywood Rides set, and they've got a bunch of these. They do Batman. I have a Batman Forever Batmobile. I have a Burton Batmobile from these folks. And they do a really good job on the quality and the detail. And they're not unreasonably priced. I happen to score this one, okay? But again, too, Jada makes a really good product. Let's see how they've got this. They really put these displays in here like you're gonna keep them in the box forever. Yep, little screw on the bottom. And again, this is why when you are out at the box store or something and you're not really a tools and fix-it person, stop by your Wally and pick up this set of Stanley screwdrivers and pliers and stuff like that. This set here I use probably every day, whether it's to fix something or to or like this, to take something out. But I appreciate them putting this in here, and it keeps the product centered in the box. And yeah, it's a screw and a plate. Why am I not getting this out of here? Hey, honey. I'm just finishing up a segment here. God damn. Are you kidding me? Why can't I?
Where are you at?
I'm in the office.
I brought you a CBD and a
Thank you. Cool, babe. Wow, this is embarrassing. Why can't I get this out of here? Yeah, these toolkits are really good. No. This tiny screw is tenacious. Hang on a second, babe. It's what it's like living in the lab. People come through for you. This has turned into a better segment. This has turned into a much better segment than I ever expected it to be. Oh my gosh. All right. Thank you, baby. You realize all this is being recorded? No, it's not dumb. I told you I was in the middle of filming a segment. Anyway. Oh, BS. I love you. All right, well, time to get in the mystery machine with Annie. Oh my gosh. Okay, the screw was a literal bear to get out of there. I'm not gonna kid, but that's the worst time I've ever had liberating a Jada product, and it's probably it's an anomaly. This is far and away, I would prefer this over the Hot Wheels versions, even the premium of the Mystery Machine, because they put a little more time into the details. You've got the flowers on it, and it just looks absolutely killer. I can't wait to find a place to prominently display this, because at one time, if you were a kid in America, accessing stuff that had ghosts and monsters and stuff like that, a lot of the time you had to go to animated stuff. You had to go to cartoons and comic books. And this is, so this was a huge part of my childhood. This was a huge part of my monster fix. Every week was watching Scooby-Doo, whatever form of Scooby-Doo it was on Saturday mornings. Anyway, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna go talk to my wife for a little bit. It's been fun talking to all of you and failing miserably. My tool set. Anyway. Pardon me, I'm putting my belt on. It's gonna be great. All right. I need to go out and do a couple of errands for the household. This is how it goes. And you thought being on the internet was just about being a star and playing with toys. This is what it's really like. Fixing shoes. That's what it boils down to. Anyway, folks, thank you very much for coming out to the Monkey Shine Lab here today, such as it is. We appreciate all of your time, and I just wanted to say, renew, reuse, and recycle. Try to get into it a little bit. It's difficult when your community doesn't do it, or where they start crowding service, but that's all the more reason to find things and fix them instead of letting them go to a landfill. So fix those old toys. A lot of times when you find them, it's just because the battery burned out and somebody didn't want to use their screwdrivers to open the compartment. And now that I think about it, maybe using little tiny screwdrivers doesn't make any sense. Just throw the fucking thing out. Anyway, thanks a lot for coming out here. I'm gonna go do some real world stuff, and maybe I'll see you just a little bit later on today. I've got the production itch lately. I really want to get some shows done. Aliens and the Mystery Machine, right here on the lab. Where else are you gonna see that? I'm the only channel covering what I just covered today. Guaranteed. Take care, everybody. Take care of each other. Take care of the environment. Much love. We'll see you next time.